Hello again, rail fans. It's Travis from RockRiverRails. Today is Saturday, November 22nd, and today we're headed to HobbyTown USA in Rockford, Illinois. Based out of Lincoln, Nebraska, they're a retail chain hobby shop that also sells collectibles, toys, and numerous other things with several locations across the United States. They used to have a location within the McChesney Park Mall back in the 90s, and I remember going there as a kid, being fascinated with all that they had to offer. Today we're visiting the store to show you what they have in their model railroad inventory, and hopefully find something for myself as well. So thanks for tuning in. Please give this video a like, leave us a comment with your thoughts of the store, and definitely subscribe to our channel, as that helps us continue providing free content to you, the viewer. So let's go check out HobbyTown USA in Rockford, Illinois, and see what they have to offer. Okay, so we've arrived at HobbyTown USA. This is the outside of the building, and let's go inside now. So this caught our attention right away. The HO scale layout. They even have a HobbyTown USA building on the layout, which is pretty neat. And here's a picture of that now. And they also have the Rockford symbol that you would see on 251. So headed over to the model railroad section, we start off with some woodland scenics here. Some trees and scenery. Some assorted mats as well for large areas of landscaping. So some prices on these mats, about 40 bucks on that one. $33 on some of the others. And then the trees, about $27 on that pack, $13.99, 12 bucks, 13 bucks. And then we're getting into the Lionel O-gauge fast track here. So depending on what you're looking for, if you're an O-gauge enthusiast, they've got everything here with the fast track on it. Track plans, diamonds, straights. So they got all your track needs covered here in Lionel O-gauge. And then also some woodland scenics, O-scale scenery and poles, light poles, utility poles, fencing. About $18 for some fencing. And then more Lionel fast track. Got some railers, some barrels. Some people, $25 for a pack of people. Some more woodland scenics. Cemetery, scenery, $24.99. More people, about 25 bucks a pack. Traffic lights, $28. And then some O-gauge ready to run train sets here. Here's a Lionel Union Pacific for $330. Then we've got a Disney Lionel O-gauge train set for $430. Some more people for 14 bucks. This one's pretty cool here. This, I think it's NS, First Responders. So 400 bucks for that one, and everything you need to get rolling if you're into O-gauge. And then $400 here on the Lionel, the Texas Special, ready to run. Very neat. Great Northern Railway, O-gauge ready to run, Lionel again. So lots of Lionel ready to run stuff here. $400 on the Santa Fe. I think it's a Chief. So lots of ready to run O-gauge train sets. A Christmas Sleigh Bell Limited, $430 there. Anheuser-Busch Beer Train, $330. And keep in mind, these are all ready to go. You don't need to do anything else but buy this if you just want to run them. So a Space Launch System, a U.S. Army for $360. The Polar Express, another emergency response unit, another Polar Express. The Polar Express looks like $320. And then to some single O-gauge cars, about $30 for a Lionel there. CSX, the C&Q I think it was. And then Miller Lite and other various beer cars. And some more stuff up top here. Some O-gauge scenery structures. Woodland Scenics again. Just kind of scanning through these. We'll get some pictures in here as well for you so you can see the prices a little bit better. But about $135 in some of those buildings. And then some more Lionel Fast Track. They really got you covered if you need some O-gauge track. So moving along, taking another look at some more O-gauge kits. That Polar Express is $380. Harry Potter train, $400. And then a utility station, O-gauge, Woodland Scenics. That one's 25% off the sticker price there. And then some more Woodland Scenics. And then some Lionel assorted cars. So some BNSF gondolas, a whole slew of those with different numbers. Reading gondolas. Looks like some auto racks here. So a ton of Lionel stuff. And I'll throw some photos in as well so you guys can see these a little bit better. And then our Disney kit for $430. Texas Special. Union Pacific for $330. And the Great Northern. Anheuser-Busch is $330. The NS Response Unit, $400. And then some of these Christmas trains in the $400 range. Definitely very popular this time of year. A lot of people like to run these under their Christmas trees. And then at Woodland Scenics is about $147 there and $133 here on the TV and appliance shop. The Polar Express, $380. $185 on the O-gauge water tower. And then another look at our various Lionel, more modern and individual train cars. Some more beer reefers here, about $70. And these Lionel cars, The various singles are about $30 a piece. Oh yes, and this one is the C&O, the Chesapeake and Ohio, the chassis system on that one. And then about 70 bucks on those beer cars. 30 bucks here. Polar Express passenger cars about $90, and that truck's $18. And then they have various Lionel assorted track here in these boxes, which is cool if you want to sort through that. Some of these straights about $6 here. 20 bucks on this 30-inch straight. And then a panorama view of this aisle of the O-gauge stuff that they have. So moving along, they have a ton of stuff in this store other than model railroad stuff as well. So a ton of models, model airplanes. But getting back to the model railroad stuff, here we're moving on to HO scale. So we've got HO scale Woodland Scenics buildings, and then Walther's Cornerstone kits as well. So we'll take a look at these. HO scale water tower, about $95, $96. A utility substation, about 88 bucks. $70 here on the building. $70 on this one. So 70 is about the average here on the HO scale Woodland Scenics. Woodland Scenics is very detailed, very realistic stuff that they do for their scenery. So it's cool to see that they've got a wide variety of Woodland Scenics products here in the store. And then getting up to bigger buildings, the price jumps up a bit. About $95 here on that gas and service station. Got a trailer, $57.99. These little buildings here, $92 for the set. That large home, about 75 bucks. The barn in the back, about 85. This little cabin here, I didn't get a price on that one. This little home, $63.99. Another home, $63. So depending on what you're getting, various prices for size of their structure and so forth. And then moving into the Walther's Cornerstone kits. These are building kits. This one's about $40. About $40 on average there for those buildings. Same in this section. Cover a very different selection of different buildings and options here. So lots of options if you're doing scenery for a layout, if you want some buildings. And then into the Woodland Scenics trees, about $13 for a pack. Other brand scenery here as well. Different trees and things for your layout scenery. And then taking another look at the Walther's Cornerstone kits. They've got a ton of these, so if you're into kits, they've got pretty much anything you can imagine from residential to industry, older, more modern. Truss bridge, an asphalt mixing plant, an international truck dealership, that's pretty cool. $50 on this one. So good prices here from what I'm seeing so far. Seems to be pretty standard retail, if not below retail on these items. So definitely liking the prices from what I've seen so far. Lee's Grocery Store, 65 bucks. So a lot of HO buildings and scenery to choose from at HobbyTown USA in Rockford. And then just an overall look of this aisle as well. And then another end cap of some Woodland Scenics detailing stuff. So $15 there, $12 on the retaining walls. Lots of Woodland Scenics. Got value packs of trees, 33 bucks for some pine trees, 24 of them. $19 on that road kit. And then foliage, value pack trees, $30. Deciduous, another HO kit here. Oh yeah, this is an HO kit. So we were looking at the O gauge earlier. Now we're getting into the HO scale train sets. So overland system here, Bachmann, $280. And keep in mind, these kits are also ready to roll, just like the O gauge. They've got some graffiti decals here, which is nice. If you're into putting graffiti on your rolling stock or locomotives, about $6 a pack. And then various lettering and numbering sheets here for decals. So if you're renumbering some rolling stock or renumbering a locomotive, putting some lettering on buildings, they've got you covered here. And then more kits. We've got the Thoroughbred kit here, another Bachmann, $135. Another Overland as well there. And keep in mind, these are ready to roll. So if you've got kids or if you want to just get started yourself in the hobby, you buy one of these kits and you're all set. It's got everything you need. Denali Express, $217. $220 on the Freedom Train. I got a Bachmann kit when I was younger. And a few of them over the years for Christmas. Definitely got me very interested in the hobby right out of the gate. A Bachmann Track King, Union Pacific, $215. And this one here looks like a Desert Storm tribute, Bachmann, $170. So a variety of prices to get you into the hobby with just a kit. BNSF Rail Chief Bachmann, $185. And then looks like a Southern Pacific Daylight here, passenger train. That one is $330 if you're into the SP. So lots of kits to choose from in that aisle. And then of course more model tanks and airplanes and stuff along the back wall. So moving along into this next aisle here, we've got HO scale track. So we've got Bachmann Easy Track here for about 43 bucks. So they got all your electronics for switches and so forth. Some diamonds, turns, various pieces of scenery here. And then continuing on with the Bachmann section, 13 bucks, 15 bucks, depending on what you're looking for. They got sections of straight, $10, $14. More easy track here. So if you want to build your own, you can expand off of one of those kits we were looking at in the previous aisle. and make your own layout, or just build your own layout from scratch. These are real easy to use. They just snap together and you run your power and ready to roll. So lots of options for the beginner. More straight track and some curves here, about $15 on average in this section. Various tools. And then into some more track here, HO Atlas. This is going to be a little bit more realistic than the Bachmann series of Easy Track. This Atlas is getting into some more detail, so more realistic, $20 for some straights, some various parts, $11, $13. Turnouts, switches, a lot of track to get you going. Got lots of curves, straights. Got your various wiring supplies, your hubs, selectors. So a ton of Atlas track, which is nice. That's what I've been buying myself. I've been ordering it online, but I haven't been to this store in years. So now that I'm more serious in the hobby, definitely going to be buying my Atlas track here. But they've got diamonds, crossings, straights, curves. $11 here, $23 below. So a ton of track. And then they've got some Kato track as well. Another very popular track here for HO scalers, the Kato. That one there comes with the ballast on it as well. So you don't have to add your own ballast or worry about that. The Kato's got that already ready to roll. And then another Woodland Scenics end cap here. With more scenery, tree kits. This section here is dedicated to doing your own water on your layout. So realistic water. You can do it different colors as well. So they got you hooked up in their water section. And then various turfs here. Grass, sand, dirt, gravel. Whatever you're looking to model. They've even got red there for coarse. More green, the more populars down below. And then your ballast, whatever type of ballast you're doing, they got you hooked up for about $14. So very good prices. And then they also have a section here of how-to. So information to read up and figure out what you're doing on your layout. I actually got that basic DCC magazine in the mail the other day. I actually ordered that, but I didn't know they had it here, so that's nice to know. And then various power poles and lights, fencing, averaging $23, $14, $13 for all this fencing. They've got wiring here, more Atlas. So they got everything you need for your own layout. Street poles, street lights, just like we looked at the O-gauge section. They also have everything in HO. And these are just plug-in, it seems. You just wire them up, you're good to roll. Then we got Rapido trains here. We've got some truck trailers, Nickel Plate Road, Santa Fe. More Santa Fe, about $30. And they're high quality. Rapido trains is high quality. And then more Woodland Scenics. They have rail and wheel maintenance kits here. So you can keep your wheels and your track clean by the Tidy Track series. Varying in price all the way up to $35 for a complete kit. And then lighting kits here, power supplies, expansion hubs. So lots of lighting and wiring equipment. That just plug system is very neat to get you going. It's very easy to use. And they've got Woodland Scenics flags, American flags, some various bushes and tufts, weeds. About $10 on average, $15 for some grass. About $6 on average in this section as well for some various turf. So, lots of Woodland Scenics, like I said, which is nice to see. I really like that brand. If you prefer to buy stuff ready to roll, Woodland Scenics and HobbyTown USA in Rockford have you covered here. If you prefer to do it yourself, you can do that too. If you're looking to save money, you can also come up with your own ideas for various landscape. But right out of the package, not bad prices and very realistic. Moving along now, they've also got some Walther's track. So lots of Walther's track here. Haven't heard much on Walther's track. I'm sure it's fine. But about $30 a section. Turnouts, switches, straights. Averaging about $25 to $30. So, looks very nice and realistic. Tons of HO scale track. Got a little bit more on this side. About $30 still. And then they've got some various surfaces and walls here, like stone walls, about $13. Some synthetic gear oil. And then some Scene Master, cars and various vehicles, Woodland Scenic vehicles, excavators, more vehicles and trucks over here, and trailers. About $10. Definitely good prices on these HO scale vehicles. So lots to choose from. School buses, tankers, fire trucks, more tankers. So lots of tankers, food trucks, and then I'm not sure what this brand is here, but more HO scale older vehicles, more Woodland Scenic vehicles, and more of this unknown brand. It says Oxford. And then a bunch of KD brand stuff as well. KD couplers. A lot of clubs require KD couplers. They got centering springs, knuckle springs, boxes and lids, more couplers, and various other parts, and some road scenery down below by Scene Master. So lots of couplers, washers, a lot of KD parts. So that's very nice. And then some Rapido trailers, Scene Master trailers, about $30. More Scene Master trailers, about $30. That's very average, good prices. Swiss Colony. Atlas trailers, UPS Scene Master trailers, about $25 to $30. United States Postal Service, U.S. Mail trailers, Santa Fe. Everything's about $20 to $30 in this section. Lots to choose from. And then on this section, we've got some Bachmann rolling stock. I'm a big Tropicana nut, so I will be taking both of these with me for $20 a piece. Both the same road number, but I will probably tear these down and do something with those, upgrade the wheels and trucks and couplers and so forth. But some Bachmann rolling stock here on this end cap. And then moving along into some more rolling stock here with prices averaging about $27. Got Walther's Mainline, Athearn Ready to Rolls, Walther's Mainline passenger cars. And these were just sitting about, I think these are N scale for $23 on the Ocean Network Express. And then going through the Roundhouse section here, averaging about $27 for a car. They've got all your local stuff as well as non-local railroads. Seaboard Coastline, Soo Line, Burlington, Burlington Northern, Illinois Central, Chicago Northwestern. So about $25, $30 for a car. Lots to choose from. Lots of different road numbers. Some unique stuff here. So we've got Athearn, Walther's Mainline. So tank cars, chemical cars, got some Exact Rail here. I believe they were bought out by Scale Trains, but I could be wrong. But Exact Rails seem to be about $27 a piece or so. And then some more Roundhouse here, about $30 on these. Various companies and roads. Then some box cars. Got some Atlas trainmen in here as well. A bunch of Milwaukee Road, Denver and Rio Grande, Union Pacific, Montana Rail Link, Milwaukee Road. So a lot of rolling stock in this aisle. The prices are good. More Atlas, Walther's Mainline, $22 there. More Walther's Mainline, about $29. So averaging about $25 in this section. Illinois Terminal, Green Bay and Western, Reading, and more down below. We got some tank car sets here, some Athearn sets. So those are going to be a little bit more in price, being that you get 4 in a set. But definitely great prices still. And then we've got some passenger cars. Down below on this below shelf. So whether you're into freight trains, passenger trains, they've got you covered. Various Amtrak cars. And then we've got a section here of some tank cars for about $30 a piece. I really like those 76 cars. Those are sharp. Some mechanical reefers, $27, $30 here on some covered hoppers. Soo Line, Western Maryland, Baltimore and Ohio. $30 here on some box cars. So Walther's Mainline seems to be the more popular one on the shelf here. And then more tank cars down below. I like these sets of 4. About $127 for the 4-pack of those tank cars. So Atlas, Bachmann, Walthers Mainline. They've got a good amount of Walthers Proto as well, which is top of the line for Walthers. And then more various hoppers, $30. Lamb Weston, $30. Wisconsin and Central, Sioux Line, Milwaukee Road, Burlington Northern, Chessie System, more modern BNSF hoppers, UP hoppers, more exact rail down here. A lot of CSX in this section. Boxcars. And then some scale trains kits down below that you build yourself. And some scale trains passenger cars here. So they carry a variety of different manufacturers, which is nice. And those there are $90 on the Fox Valley models, scale trains. And then various hoppers, Santa Fe, about $24. More scale trains, Operator, Kansas City Southern hoppers, Union Pacific hoppers. More Athearn, Burlington hoppers, Rock Island. And then some cabooses, some scale trains, cabooses, boxcars, reefers, auto racks. I really like these PV hoppers. I have quite a few of these myself. $65 for a 3-pack of Athearn. More PV hoppers. I really like those. I may have to come back for these PV hoppers. I didn't get them today, but maybe back for some of those. And then more scale trains, Operator. We've got some of the tank cars. Lots of tank cars. And then rolling some pictures here of seaboard coastlines, SP gondolas, Illinois Central, just so you can see the prices a little bit better here. So lots of Walthers, lots of Athearn, lots of scale trains, a good variety of different railroads, different leasing companies. So lots to choose from for rolling stock. And I really like that they have repeats as well. Not that the road numbers are repeated, but the companies are repeated. So if you're looking for more than one, they got you covered. So about $30 on average for a car. Same with Walthers Mainline. Exact rails about $27 or so, depending on what you get. And they've got stuff all the way down to $20 as well. So depending on your budget, they got you covered across the board. About $110 on these 4 packs of tank cars. And then about $32 on this section of tanks. $30 here on the Walthers hoppers. And same with the boxcars. $30 on more hoppers here. Same here. And then $30 on the exact rail, which is a very good price as well. I really like those KCS bell hoppers that they have there. And then you've got your roundhouse, about 24 bucks. Your scale trains, passenger cars, I think we already covered that, but about $90 on those. And then your scale trains, kits down here that you build yourself, 25% off. And then Walther's Proto, about $60. Keep in mind these are top ends. $45 here for some auto racks, Walther's mainline. And then they have a good variety of containers as well. Scale trains, Athearn, Scene Master containers. Very good prices on these. About 10 bucks a container or so. 15 on these. Pacer stack train. Evergreen, Schneider, K-Line. Scale trains, Operator series. And then more various scenery. Trees, wildflowers. 145 bucks on the pack of well cars here. Scale trains. And then more Walther's mainline, Walther's Proto. Various 4-packs here. About 115 to 130. 105 on the BNSF hopper set. And then $50 here on the Genesis cabooses. You got Walther's mainline cabooses for about 40 bucks. Walther's Proto for about 50. They've also got some Bachmann in here. And then other various sets as well of different cars. They got the C&W ore cars, it looks like. 170 on the pack of those. And then various other scenery in this aisle. They got different loads, coal loads, metal loads, different details and decals. They got some Bowser as well, 27 bucks on those, 30 bucks on some more Walther's mainline. And then various flat cars. Just a quick scan along this section here. We already got pictures of most of this, but just giving you a look at what the shelves look like. Everything is very organized, so no messes, no piles of stuff laying around. Very organized on the shelving. Everything has a real nice layout to it. So they got you covered with rolling stock, different scenery, different loads, different decals. So they've got wood loads as well there for your center beams. And then a ton of rolling stock up here as well. More Milwaukee Road. More scale trains. Walther's mainline. So moving along now to the locomotives. Looks like the majority of these locomotives do have sound in DCC. They have a ton of scale trains rivet counter. So keep in mind, that's top of the line stuff. So lots of scale trains, rivet counter to choose from here. And these are all in display cases locked up. But you can clearly see the prices and what they have to offer in this section. So lots of C&W. They've got some Wisconsin and Southern, Canadian Pacific. Then you also get into your Walther's mainline, a little bit more budget friendly, about 180 bucks here, 200 bucks. Your scale train stuff is going to be 250 and upwards, depending on what you're getting. different leasing companies, lots of Milwaukee Road. They got Rapido locomotives, a Thurn Genesis, Walther's Proto, more Scale Trains rivet counter, Sioux Line, Wisconsin Central, Norfolk Southern Heritage units, Norfolk and Western High Hoods, Milwaukee Road, so lots of DCC and sound, which is good to see. Lots of variety. Lots of Milwaukee Road, different road numbers on these units. Walther's Proto, Milwaukee Road, about $265. Wisconsin Central Heritage units for their Canadian National. Chesapeake and Ohio, Chessie system. So everything from top of the line, Scale Trains, rivet counter, Athearn Genesis, Walther's Proto down to Walther's Mainline, Athearn Ready to Roll. So depending on what your budget is, they've got a variety of different locomotives to suit your needs. They got an EMD demonstrator there, a Jeep demonstrator, more Walther's Proto, that's their top of the line stuff, more Scale Trains rivet counter. I see UP 1995 hiding up there along with another Chicago and Northwestern -9, I believe, below it. And then a lot of BNSF, more modern stuff. They have the BNSF Heritage sticker units. They've got the Burlington and Quincy, High Hoods, Burlington Northern, EMD SD45s, GP39s, more High Hoods here, Scale Trains rivet counter, getting into the $300 and plus range. And then you've got Santa Fe units, lots of EMD, Walther's Mainline, Walther's Proto down below here. More Milwaukee Road. We've got Great Northern, Chicago, Burlington and Quincy again, Burlington Northern. So a ton of locomotives. They've got Burlington Northern Bicentennial unit, Chicago, Fort Wayne and Eastern. That's pretty cool. Union Pacific, Jeeps, a Thurn Genesis, top of the line stuff, Scale Trains, Operator, more Walther's Proto, Rock Island down below, some switchers, the Rock. Got some Alcos, the BRC, Belt Railway of Chicago. Got some Illinois Central Jeeps, Walther's Mainline, Illinois Central Golf, MKT, SD40-2, rivet counters, $330. That's good pricing on that SD40-2. So a good variety of locomotives here with some good prices. Walther's Proto for $310. Got more CN Scale Trains rivet counter. GE, EMD, whatever you prefer. And more locomotives up top here. Erie, Lackawanna. Chicago Northwestern -9, there's that UP 1995 up above it, both Athearn Genesis. So lots of locomotives. Nice to see a good inventory of in-stock locomotives with good pricing. And then turning around here, we have more locomotives in these display cases down below, along with more rolling stock on top. More Woodland Scenic stuff as well, it looks like. Scene Master in there, various people. So it looks like Scale Train's up on top for about 34 bucks. Various boxcars, Norfolk Southern. So lots of rolling stock in this place. More Walther's Proto. Looks like some coil cars. Lots of coil cars. CSX. Burlington Northern. And then some more locomotives down below in the display case. More rivet counter with sound and DCC. More bicentennial units. They've got rivet counter, scale trains, coil car. Erie Lackawanna bicentennial schemes. They've got various CSX tribute schemes on these locomotives. First responders. And more rolling stock up above. Scale trains, coil cars. Different box cars, Burlington, Milwaukee Road, Western Pacific. Some NS locomotives, CSX locomotives. Some Trinity tank cars for about 36 bucks. So the rolling stock is endless at HobbyTown USA in Rockford. A lot of rolling stock. And more locomotives down below. So they got the Burlington. Looks like some more scale trains. And then more various locomotives in this display case as well. Like they got some Green Bay and Western, some Rio Grande, Milwaukee Road, Walther's Proto, Chicago and Northwestern units, more Jeeps, various trolleys, Wisconsin and Central, some EMD Jeeps, EMD SD45, Chicago and Northwestern. Another -9, C&W. They got the Operation Lifesaver units. And even Walther's mainline. Got SD9s. Various Genesee and Wyoming. So depending on your era, they've got your locomotive needs covered, it seems. Alco units. Milwaukee Road units, 80 bucks. Can't beat that. Amtrak in here as well, BNSF. And then just some photos so you can see the locomotives a little bit better with some pricing as well. So they've got local to the region railroads, not local to the region railroads. So lots of locomotives to choose from. So always nice to see a good variety of in-stock locomotives, like I was saying. They got some SD40-2 tunnel motors. And then now moving on here into the N-scale section. Lots of Kato N-scale track in stock. About $11 here, $6, $10. So good prices on some N-scale track. And then they've got a good variety of loose track as well. Even they have a Bachmann section here for N-scale, easy track for your beginners. Various crossings. And then we get into the N-scale rolling stock and locomotives, averaging about $20 to $27 for a car. I'm not sure on N-scale. I do HO scale myself, so I'm not sure on these prices. But they seem to be pretty good from what I've seen at shows and other stores. So just looking through the N-scale section here, showing you what they have to offer of in-stock N-scale. They've even got weathered N-scale rolling stock. About $24 on those. And then various N-scale scenery and vehicles. They've got woodland scenics as well for N-scale. Buildings, structures, and so forth. And then locomotives, about $140 for an N-scale locomotive with DCC and sound. Some auto racks. Good variety of N-scale locomotives as well over in this section of the store. And even N-scale scale trains. So a nice shot of the locomotive section here. They've also got various power packs and controllers. They've got a good section of Digitrax. So everything you need to power and run your layout, as well as control modules and so forth. They've also got Kato N-scale kits, Bachmann kits, and then everything you need for weathering your models as well. They've got airbrushes, a nice airbrush section here with various accessories. They cover AK weathering effects as well. So it looks like they're an AK dealer, which is cool. I really love those AK products, especially those weathering effects. AAR Hobby, GSI Krios, various paints, various AK acrylic paints as well as brushes and everything you need for a detail and weathering on your layout. All clad lacquers, different spray paint colors. Another shot of the brush section here, tons of brushes, different sizes. They've got Revell paints, various lacquers. They even have dull coat. And then this is my haul, some dull coat and 2 Tropicana reefers. And then now just a general look at the store itself. They've got model airplanes, model rockets, good variety of model rockets and planes, more model rockets, various RC cars and trucks, lots of RC cars. Looks like they've got an airsoft section as well with various gear. More RC cars in these display cases. RC cars and track. Another shot of their airsoft section. And they've even got toy trains as well. So RC steam train, $50. Looks like they're a Lego dealer as well, so a good variety of Legos. Those are very popular as well nowadays. Some more Legos here. Looks like this TY brand, I know they made Beanie Babies, they have those. And other various educational kits and science kits as well in the store, as well as so much more. So that's a look at HobbyTown USA in Rockford, Illinois. I hope you enjoyed it. I know we were there just for the model railroad stuff. And as you can see, this video is over an hour long. So lots of model railroad stuff in stock at HobbyTown USA in Rockford, Illinois. The prices, I would say, are very fair. They're retail or below retail. Lots of sale items. Tons of rolling stock. Tons of scenery. Tons of weathering and paints. They've got you covered with O gauge, HO scale, N scale. Whether you're looking for rolling stock, locomotives, trackage, scenery, they've got you covered at HobbyTown USA in Rockford. So I appreciate you guys coming along on the tour of the store today. I wanted to give you guys an in-depth look of what they have to offer. This store was extremely busy on a Saturday. Just packed in the store. So glad to see that HobbyTown USA is doing well, it seems like. Glad to see that they have a large variety of model railroad stuff in stock with good prices. That's what I was there for. That's what I would frequent the store for. But they've got you covered no matter the hobby, it seems like, at this location. So nice to see. I'll definitely be back to buy some other things that I saw in the store as well. If I had to give them a rating, I don't really give ratings, but if I had to give them a rating, I would give them definitely a solid A, just due to their selection and pricing. So thanks for coming along with me to take a look at the model railroad stuff that they offer in the store. Please give this video a like. Leave me a comment with your thoughts about the store, about the inventory, about the pricing. And then definitely subscribe to the RockRiverRails channel. And again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.